Okay, we're live. So happy to be here with you all. I originally was going to do this for my patrons only, but we had a group consensus that we would go live publicly on YouTube. So feels good to have somebody to back me up on that. Jay, if you're here, let me know. I am going to get started with a prayer, little melody too, to ground us in with the sounds and stuff and our intentions. I am going to figure out lighting. Y'all, technology, let me tell you. Now I just look greasy. Okay. Thank you for coming. It's so funny. I go public and it's both my patrons are here, of course. I'm so glad that I decided to do this. I'm having a hard time navigating this Patreon thing, so I just appreciate your patience and support. Okay, so just to ground us in some more, I just wanted to say a little prayer for the evening, and just wanted to root down a little bit more. So thank you, creator of all things that hold us in this space and that brings us to technology, keeps the signal strong, and keeps us all connected in this world. For all the tech that goes into making something like this happen, we are all so grateful. So thank you for gathering us on this lunar eclipse. And thank you for all that holds us in this life, unseen and seen. Thank you. Whew. So, lunar eclipse is here. It's upon us. And I've been moving through quite a bit of things. Hi, third person, if you feel comfortable, tell us who you are in the comments. I'd love to know who you are. Say your name or whatever, where you're from. I have been moving through quite a bit, as I'm sure all of you have been. I guess I wanted to get started with the cycle that I'm completing. Oh, J Boss. Bless, brother. So many J's. 3 J's in here. That's crazy. Good day to you too. So eclipses historically it's a window of time, and the eclipse happens twice a year. So there's a window between eclipses. Is usually, I don't know, I can't remember what comes first, but in this case it was the solar and then the lunar eclipse, and it occurs on a full moon and a new moon. And those eclipses, that window from full to new, is usually a 2-week window, and they happen twice a year from my memory. And so it's But in this window of time, it's wrapping up like a 6-month cycle because it does happen twice a year. So I'm not going to forecast to you what that like collectively is going on, because that's not what I'm here to do today. I'm not prepared to to talk about the collective. I went from externalizing so much of my life and my thought processes outward in my first kind of coming of age time of my life, and my last quarter square of my Saturn returning home from like 21 to, thank God that phase didn't last a long time. I swear to God, it was like a few year cycle. And I don't know if you guys were there for that, but I was an evangelist. I was like evangelizing astrology and like my thoughts and opinions of the collective conscious, and just like what that means for everyone. And or maybe I'm projecting. Maybe it was always me talking about my own problems, but then projecting it onto other people of what they should do, because I wouldn't be human if I wasn't a know-it-all teenager, young adult. So to rein that back in, I have been going through a really intense time, and a lot of it is dealing with ancestral healing. And, you know, I carry a lot of trauma from this life, from my experiences, and I am starting to realize, maybe even in this moment, more so than ever, like more deeply knowing inside my body that perhaps the suffering that I experience and the things that I go through aren't actually just from my own experience in this life, rather than a collective experience that I'm having played out through my body from my ancestors. Because if we know anything about science as of lately, is that transgenerational trauma is real, and that ancestors are real, and that just because things are not seen with our naked eye, the 7 color spectrum of the visible light that we see, doesn't mean that these beings aren't here. And maybe they're not manifested and incarnate just like we are, physically, but also dimensionally, right? Transdimensionally. Things shift, things can morph to anything that the human mind can think of. The universe is infinite, and I could really go off on that. But from my perspective in the story that I've been writing myself currently, there seems to be some real connection to the spirits that brought me to who I am today, because there were bodies that made bodies that made bodies that made bodies that made me. There were souls incarnated on this earth that kept procreating and made me and made you. So to say that these people stop existing, I mean, matter can never be created or destroyed. The essence of a soul can never be created or destroyed. It just changes. And so I say all of this to you to say that for whatever reason, for whatever reason, as if my life isn't the offering itself that brings me closer to these people, as if I have any control over being connected to these people or not. We can compartmentalize and push things away, but we can't cut life off, because then we cease to exist. And even when we cease to exist, we just become something else. So, anyways, I'm getting meta here. I'm connecting with my ancestors, and I have been for the last year. And as I've connected more deeply into this process, and as I've evolved and changed and gone deeper into my own process, still thinking these things are separate, right? Still thinking that I'm intrinsically completely separate from these people, because there's an illusion there. Like, there is separation, there are boundaries, and at the same time, these are there inside of me. It's like the Mulan thing. Uh, my health has really, my life has kind of upended itself. And I don't know if that's just perfect timing to my Saturn return, or if it's all just a cosmic joke that I wrote for myself before I came here, but it's just all synchronistically kind of like weaving together. And I can't tell one part from the other because they've all just kind of coalesced together. So just a pause there. Jay, she didn't speak much English. Where was she from? Where was the grandmother that you're talking about from? I'm curious to know. So basically with this ancestor work, it's unearthing me and all of the stories that I'm telling myself in this life that have kept me so polarized and split. And like just in duality in general, of this, of them, and a me, of enemy, and or a victim and victimizer, and sorry, it's been so toxic. And so to know that I have these beings beyond me that keep me less isolated and lonely, because I would love to, like, trapped in my own mind, I would love to think that and believe that what I see with my limited perspective of what we've been told is the real world is what you just see physically around you. Oh, it's so easy to become so lonely, to not know the magic and the spirit in all things from like an animist perspective. All things, not just humans, have essence and a soul. From the Ukraine, your grandma's from the Ukraine. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I've been visiting family that I've never met, that I didn't know existed, because my world was so small. My world was so small, like so small growing up. So freaking small. I come from a very small town, very not to be rude, but like very ignorant kind of mentality of just very closed-mindedness. And to know that I have family and I'm connecting with this family from that expands my awareness of like the people in my life, and how much I'm cared for is just has blown my mind. And yeah, I'm connecting with them. I'm connecting with my ancestors in spirit. And it comes through not as words, but as feelings. Thank God. Because I remember knowing I was really sensitive, but not knowing like that articulate thought, like, oh, I'm sensitive. I didn't have that kind of vocabulary as a kid to know that, but I was sensitive. And I never talked to anybody about it, except whenever some things would happen, like I would play around and tell a story about a ring that we got from the thrift store, but a lot of things I kept to myself because I didn't know anything. And so, but everything was always feelings. I always had these feelings about everything. I was just extremely sensitive, extremely open child, very sensitive. And so thankfully, that wasn't grown into anything. Like I never saw dead people. But I'm just an empath, and I probably shouldn't say things like this on the internet publicly, because I don't know, I have this fear and I don't want to let my fear rule me, but I don't know, I've just experienced a lot of bad things in the world, and I just feel like sometimes we have to be discerning, and sometimes we have to like not let our fear rule us. And I think, to tie it back to the ancestors and stuff, I created this really intense boundary between myself and a line that I felt was unwell. And before I continue, and so y'all don't know, so you guys know that I'm not a crazy person, I wanted to show you what I'm talking about. It's this, I started this last year. It wasn't actually the book. I actually started the program, Ancestral Lineage Healing, with Daniel Thor. It's called ancestralmedicine.com or .org. And he walks you through in the ancestral lineage healing process. And he has practitioners. And so I've been doing this work for a year now and working on my family lines. And so I have been doing that for a year. And like I said, as I have gone down this rabbit hole of just my life in general, I started to notice that doing this work and actually healing one of my lines, simultaneously, I was getting sick. Like I was feeling unwell in my body. Well, first it started out like I had all this energy, right? I was making these awesome YouTube videos and all these things were happening, had a lot of energy and don't know where that shit came from. But yeah. So then I started to feel really sick in my body and really unwell and really inflamed and really depressed and tired and anxious and angry and just feeling like out of control. And it all kind of peaked around my birthday. Oh yeah, loss of concentration. Like everything was just a shit show. I couldn't do much other than like get through the fucking day with my son and like veg out on the computer on my phone, because it was just like surrendering my nervous system, one, but also my limbic system, just surrendering it away, just because I was just fatigued and tired. And it all peaked around my birthday, right after I had sat with ayahuasca for the second time. And it's like, yeah, and at this point, I was getting more information from my unwell line. I was getting pictures. I was getting literally like pictures through Ancestry.com and connecting more with the things that I found, like on the Florida archives where I'm from, I was able to find so many pictures of family members, and it was just coming so rapidly, all of these people, and I was able to find some stories, and I was able to find some really interesting information about them. And this is the line that I've kept at a distance because it's the most unwell one. And so in my mind, I'm like, I got to compartmentalize this, right? I've got to keep things separate. Like, my boundaries are so thick because you guys feel like zombies, and I'm like sending you FUs all the time, like, to get away from me. And it was only making the problem worse. It's like, I'm supposed to have good boundaries, right? But I don't know, the way I was going about it, it didn't feel right because it was all from fear. Because I was like, and I was painting them out to be these really, like, sick people. So I got some frequency healing work done yesterday. And the woman that I was working with, she was working with this stuff and coming to all of this on her own. She was saying something about being a very tapped in spirit, in that my ancestors, I didn't even mention ancestors. She said to me, she was like, working with your ancestors, and that basically the ones that aren't well, because we have a lot of people, it's very rare that you have completely, totally, vibrantly well ancestors on all lines. From mothers to, mothers, fathers, mothers, fathers. Like, it's very rare. But she was saying to me, she was like, these people, they're people. And they don't mean to hurt you or inflict a pain upon you. They are trapped in their own hell of the cycle, of the loop of their life that didn't get resolved. Like, they're just in hell. And they see you, and they know that you feel them because you have that healer signature. And they know that. And so they come to you and they try to merge with you to try to fix their lives. And they can't, and it hurts everyone involved. Hurts them, it hurts me, because I become the altar. And so I realized shortly after that, I looked at the altar that I have had for them, this sorry ass altar, just disgraceful. Just a bunch of candles on a coffee table. No love or energy put into that whatsoever. Like, and it's not always been that way. I used to have a really bomb ass altar that they really liked, but not all of them I was connecting with at the time. And so, and I stopped with the altar because I started to feel my boundaries being crossed, right? And I was starting to be like, well, F you, and so all of that started to dwindle until I didn't really have an altar anymore. And I'm bringing up the importance of the altar because your body is the altar. And so when you create an altar separate from your body, you're telling your people, hey, your food is here. It's not here. Here's your food. Here's your water. Here's your tokens. Here's your home. It's not here in my body. All of my unwell ones, you're coming here. Yes, I hear you. And here's your seat. It's over here on the altar. And so I had went outside because I made space. My altar was inside, and then I put it outside to create boundaries. which is necessary for me. And I looked at it and I felt so vividly, and this was after the healing, right? This was the day after, or no, the afternoon after. This was like hours after. And I walked by the table and I realized, I'm like, oh, they hate the altar. They hate it. Like, it was so clear to me, and I felt it so deeply, and I had always felt that, but it was just like, because my attention was attuned from that session, I was like, oh, they hate it. They hate the freaking altar. They're so upset about this altar. Especially the unwell ones on my dad's line. They don't feel represented. And I was like, oh, I've got to fix the altar. I've got to change this. I've got to improvise with what I have, because I felt like what I had wasn't what was enough. It seems like they really want me to have handmade things, and probably things they grew in their gardens, and yeah, memorabilia or tokens or something. Basically, the advice I got was that I need to go to the well ones on that line rather than just like chat it up with the unwell ones, because it's above my pay grade to fix them. I just have to worry about myself and take care of myself, and let the very well and vibrant ones that are ancient and beyond them, like in between me and the ancient ones, are the unwell ones in a way. And so, like, let the very well ones take care of the healing process. It's all in the book. I'm not talking crazy shit. This is all in the book. And it's a PhD that wrote this, by the way. I don't know if you care about titles like this, but he's got a whole program around it. And he's not like a cult leader or anything. It's pretty impressive, because I've done that. So, yeah. And so, I'm realizing how deep this shit is. And before all of this happened, before the frequency thing happened yesterday, I believe the night before, I had a dream of my grandma, who's alive, by the way. I had a dream of her. And I was at her house, her area, her land, and she was walking around with flowers. There were flowers everywhere, not growing, but like on altars. Like altars everywhere with flowers and vases. And some of them were dead and dying, but they were still in the water, with the petals in the water too. It was like just a bunch of flowers. And she was wearing this like short, flowy, reddish, pinkish, frilly dress, like dark pink, like magenta. And she was well, but she didn't have much emotion. She was like very serious and just like doing her thing. She was very focused and in her own zone, you could tell. And she had asked me a question. And it was because a while ago I was learning about yoni massage and all of the ligaments and tissue and the muscles and the nerve endings and the pelvic floor for both men and women. It's like we hold a lot of trauma there. And when you massage those tissues and those the organs, the nerve endings, a lot of healing can come about. And especially I won't get too far into it, but basically I've been learning about the importance of self-care in that way. And I've been also really resistant to self-care in that way for some reason. Self-care for me is really hard, really challenging if it's not like superficial. Like sometimes I won't shower for a couple days and use wipes, and like the best self-care I can do sometimes is just put moisturizer on my face because it's right in front of my face and it's just a couple drops and wipe and done. But sometimes I don't even do that. But like the deep self-care, that's like massaging your body and stretching for a long period of time and massaging your pelvic floor and dancing. And, sometimes I'm not as great with that. And so the dream, she was doing her own thing, like in her own zone, not much emotion at all. And she just looked at me and she was like, "Are you going to teach me the yoni massage?" Or she was like, "Teach me the yoni massage." And I was like, uh, 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 I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I felt like embarrassed in the fact that like I didn't want to do that because I didn't know how yet or something like that, like my inadequacy. And I felt like put on the spot because it was a matter of fact self-care thing for her. Like it was very clear that, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And she just kept doing her thing. And it made me realize like how matter of fact and like straightforward it is to just meet your needs. And it's not a question, it's not something to piddle around with. And at the same time, this is really personal, this whole thing, this whole sharing, but because of my taboo kind of relationship with that side of the family, because of just family drama, how it is with family, I've been really unsure how to deal with that relationship. And in that dream, the first feeling I got was like, oh, I don't want her to die, because she's on her way out. She's doing okay. She's not like sick or anything, but that dream kind of made me realize I was like, is she, is she, is it, is she transitioning? Like, is she getting closer to the veil? Even if she doesn't die soon or immediately, it's like she's merging. And this dream to me just kind of, it was weird because the next day she called me. She doesn't call me really usually. And she called me and she was like, "Hey, I realized I forgot your son's birthday. I'm so sorry." She was so upset about it. And she was like, the things that she said, she was like, "I love you. Drive safe. Please drive safe." And the way she said it was very like intent. And I don't know why I'm trying to explain something so like uh spiritual, but in a whole new, it's more than that. It's divine. And the weird thing is the day before I got in a car accident because I wasn't driving safely. I'm okay. It wasn't big. My car is still drivable, but it's a car accident. I haven't gotten in a car accident in years, probably a decade. And it just kind of brought things into perspective. And I've had plans to go down to Florida to visit family that first I've never met or seen, more family I haven't met or seen, and to see her because the pictures, get this is going to bring it all home for you. The pictures that I'm finding on the internet from the early 1900s, they're all taken of my family from way back. They're all taken on the land that she's living on. She's living on the land where all of the photos that I'm finding of that unwell line that have been trying to communicate to me and that have been communicating to me, and I've been just like, "Ah, get away," making it worse, making, things worse. It's just crazy powerful for me to know that. And it's all coming home and I'm communicating with them in this way. And this changed my life. And before I get too personal, even more, I just wanted to mention this again. This is a really powerful book. I would suggest the program because doing this alone, wouldn't recommend it. We're alone enough. Wouldn't recommend it. Buy the book, go on his website, ancestralmedicine.org, and sign up for the classes. I'm pretty sure if you have any financial limitations, they can accommodate. They've accommodated me, and I've had extreme financial limitations this year. And so it's important to do it with a practitioner, and that's what I've been doing. Most of this work has been on my own, but a lot of it's been with a practitioner because at this point in my life, I have to be seen in what I'm doing and do it alone as well. So 5 people. Hey, everybody. I'm going to take a pause and turn my heater on. I'm starting to shake a little bit because the energy is intense for me right now. I'm a little ungrounded and grounded at the same time and cold. So 1 second. Oh, it's so cold. Okay. Let's switch it up. Y'all like to dance? Do y'all like to boogie oogie? If we were in a Zoom meeting, I would probably put some music on and we could all have a dance break. 7 people? Hi, everyone. Oh, hey, we've just been talking about ancestry. And I went on a huge rant in storytelling, and it was pretty awesome. So right now, I think I want to do some stretching. I don't have the ideal setup to do stretching with you guys, but I think we're going to figure it out. Not your language. It's fine. We don't have to dance. I'm just going to stretch because my body needs it. I got hurt in a car accident. Yeah, you should. And then catch up when you're done. Come back and watch it. Greetings from Germany. Yes. What's up, everybody? Okay, so what do you guys feel about continuing this as I stretch, do some yoga on the ground somehow with this setup? I'm going to figure it out because this is my laptop. Anyways, I don't really want to do this. Don't really want to be on here long, even though I love talking to you guys. You know that. But for the sake of potency, maybe I'll just transition down here and then we can transition off the live stream once we're done. What do you think? Okay. So, yeah, I have been going through it and I'm realizing, and have been realizing for a long time, I'm just in the birth canal. And it was kind of affirmative in my frequency healing session that so much was affirmative to me in such a grounding way that I needed to hear. And I'm just leaving behind a different old paradigm that I've been living in my whole life. That's not even me. And so I feel really humbled and I feel really grateful for the path that I'm on and that I continue to journey on, and it's blowing me away all the time. And I'm so sore from that wreck, you guys. And I guess I wanted to also say that I'm probably going to host some Zoom meetings, some sessions via Zoom. I haven't decided the context entirely yet, but I feel like the more that I put it out there, it's going to manifest at some point. And I am going to be focused around this kind of work. And so it's crazy to say. I'm like, wow, am I really doing this? I guess so. It actually doesn't feel good to stretch right now because of how much tension I have. That was so intense for my nervous system to have that impact happen in an already stressful time of my life. And then right the day after, I have this frequency healing, and then all of this comes out. And so, just to kind of backtrack a little bit, I had another dream last night after the frequency healing. And I saw one of my ancestors' picture, like the person in the picture that I saw from the archives online. And he was a beekeeper. He had a branch and there was bees on the branch, and he was keeping bees. And he was in my dream. There wasn't any like personal things happening, but I remember the image coming up in my dream. And it's just so fascinating, and something that was interesting that's been on my mind that I learned from the research of doing my ancestry online. I found out one of my great uncles shot himself. The firstborn of my grandmother's grandparents, their firstborn, so my grandmother's uncle that she never knew, he shot himself at like 24, something like that. Fucking shot himself and lived for an hour afterwards. I'm going to read you his obituary. I found his obituary online. I'm telling you guys, Ancestry is like the craziest thing. Let me read you this obituary. It's unbelievable. And so I've been doing this work, right? And it's been blowing me away. And just the threads, because I would take a step back, to get some space from it, because again, I was having some fearful things like, I should take space because I'm afraid that I'm going to just be like haunted. And if I let them in, they're going to get me like all the Hollywood movies would like us to believe. And best believe to trust all your ancestors is to say you trust all people. You don't trust all people. And you've got to have healthy boundaries as a human being anyways. It's, and so boundaries in general have just been hard for me in my life. And so it's just been a thing. And so as I get older, I learn more about myself and how to depolarize in a healthy way that's not just spiritually bypassing and not just like a mental mind fuck. I'm going to try to find that obituary. It takes me a minute to pull things up, so hopefully you guys can hang out with me. So, God, I'm going to read this to you. It's haunting. Absolutely haunting. Okay. Funeral services for Cecil, 25, who killed himself at his home in Woodville, were held yesterday afternoon at the cemetery. Harris shot himself late Sunday afternoon and lived for an hour before the loss of blood caused his death. The bullet entered the lower part of the abdomen. When asked why he shot himself, Harris said, "I wanted to die." No inquest was held. He is survived by a large family. Killed himself at 25. And when he was 25, it was 1933. So this must have been around the First World War. Maybe there was a draft happening. Insane, right? So his parents, my great-great-grandparents, that live on the same land that my grandma lives right now, she's on family land, they had to live with their oldest son killing himself at 25. And I don't think that they handled it well. I don't think that they dealt with it well. I don't know how they processed it emotionally, but I know that his dad, the father of the uncle that killed himself, he ended up in a loony bin, they called it. And I can imagine it was because his freaking son killed himself. Can you imagine that? So I brought that up because that had been coming up for me, and something that the practitioner, the frequency adjustment healing session, she was saying that we can take on the ailments of the ones that passed, of our family, and start to age rapidly, when we start to like decay in like that merging, the incompatible merging of the unwell ancestors and ourselves. And there's like this kind of like, you become a ghost house in a way. You can take on those ailments. And I've been experiencing some intense stuff and in my mental health, and I had experienced moments of suicidal ideation, not to the extent of ever wanting to do anything, because I'm a wimp and I don't like pain and I don't want to die at all. Life would be so intense where I'm just like, I think about it and like, oh yeah. But then, okay, it's one thing to think about it, and it's another thing to like, let's think about executing this. It just never would get to that point. Because when I would do that, when I'm like, okay, so when I would think to like, okay, so you're thinking this, then do you actually want to? And it never would, I never did want to, because that's not me. And it kind of clicked. I was like, oh, it took a minute for it to sit into my awareness. It took a minute for me to understand it, just assimilate it in my body of like what was possibly going on here. And perhaps some things were being lived out in my experience, because it was such a deep trauma in the family for so many people. It wasn't just him, and I don't feel a connection to him necessarily. I mean, he's a person and he's there, but it's more about who he affected and whose lives that he kind of deeply traumatized from what he did, killing himself. I feel it deeply with those grandparents, those parents of him. I feel them a lot, particularly his mother, my great-great-grandma, Fanny. And yeah, butterfly effect. So this stuff has an effect on us and our biology, and these people don't cease to exist. Their stories don't cease to exist. In fact, when we forget, we can be reminded in really inconvenient ways. We're not necessarily being punished for anything. These people are just doing their best. They don't want to hurt you. If you are experiencing some issues with this, it usually can present itself after you start the journey into ancestral lineage healing, but it could be presenting way before that, and you just don't have the conscious awareness and tools to navigate it. But for me, this stuff started to come up, at least the realizations of all of these things, because I was prepared mentally in my own life with the therapy that I was getting and the work that I was doing internally to be able to handle what I'm dealing with. And for whatever reason, I am able to handle this because it wouldn't be happening to me if I wasn't. And it's a shitload of work to carry. It's a lot of stuff to carry, and I'm not carrying it all for anyone else. I just am realizing the role that I've been playing as the altar, because I am the sensitive one, and everyone knows, all these people, especially on that line, now know that I see them, and I know, that I can feel them. And so they just are on my body. So taking my steps to create the altar that they want so they get the fuck off my body. And also, just to say this, I'm saying this for you, and I'm saying this really for myself. Something that I realized today in the kind of Q&A session of the Ancestral Lineage work that happens every Friday. You are so supported and so held and so resourced in ways that you don't even understand and can totally tap into. You have so many allies on your behalf. It's ridiculous. And that's the case for all of us. We all have these resources, these allies, and we can call on them to receive the strength and the energy that we need to move through anything in our lives. And if you need space and you need things to de-intensify, you can ask for that and receive that. And you don't have to take everything on because you can. You don't have to carry the burden of your life. You have people you can resource out that are human, non-human, visible, not visible. And I'm really talking to myself here. And I hope, it helps you. It's important. Oh my God, look who's here. Go figure. I had a feeling you would show up. Or not show up, but I thought of you when the live streams started. So, long time no see. Good to see you, Empress. Just chatting about ancestors. Oh, man. I miss the days, and I've been talking about this. I mentioned this earlier. I've really missed the days of the Hangouts. They were Google Hangouts at the time, but now Zoom has taken over, and I feel like it's a lot better. Technology has improved so much in the last 5 years, and I want to bring it back because I have a lot to share and a lot to offer, and kind of holding the space down for this ancestral lineage healing work, and just really the energy that and the work that I want to provide to everybody else. And just hold that container for people. I really love it. And that's what probably will start with my Patreon people. Are you ready? I think so. I think I am. Yeah, it's an interesting thing how much has changed since then, and all that's happened, and all the boundaries that I've acquired in the life that I've lived. I look forward to them increasing in frequency and for them to happen again. And I'm curious how it's going to manifest on here. I know you can't live stream a Zoom call anymore. I don't know if you can go live on Google Hangouts. I don't even know if Google Hangouts are still a thing. But it wouldn't be a live thing. I think it would be just a intimate thing. So figuring out all the pieces as I go. We had to live. Yeah, we couldn't keep evangelizing, right? We couldn't keep proselytizing all of these things. We had to live. We had to live them and experience them. And it was the mystery school. It truly was. I think those are still on my page somewhere. But that was a different time, you know? You were different people. So, Empress, I don't know if you were there for beginning of it, but I was telling some really intense stories of my ancestry and some things that I'm doing with my own lineage healing, and those were very enlightening. Oh, thanks. And yeah, it feels weird that you guys aren't like face to face talking to me right now, and it's just me, but I think this is where we're at right now. I'm a mom. I know. I'm a mom now. I'm about to approach my Saturn return. We've been talking about this shit for like 6 years. And we're finally here, even though I'm still a whole year away, I think. I have a weird Saturn because it's an early degree of Pisces. It's 7 degrees Pisces, and it's in my first house. So regardless, Saturn is literally coming home. It's going through my 12th house right now. It's insane. Okay, I need some water, everybody. Y'all have water? Drink some water. Anyways. You're gonna be 50. That's crazy. Wow. You were a Sag. That's right. You're a Sag. You know, my son's a Sag. Double Sag. He's Sun, Moon, Sag. In the 5th house. He's actually having his lunar return because it's the Sun, Moon right now in Sag eclipse. And he was born with a Sun, Moon, Sag. It's crazy. You should. Yeah. Yeah, kick back and listen to it. You can catch up when we can. So maybe this is an announcement. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know the context of it because I need to figure out the structure that I want it to flow in because things are different now, but I want to bring those back and make it a really deep thing. So something that we do once a week, once a month. With a structure and a format, to keep things held tight, because I've done a lot of work with container and space holding. So we'll have a time to like speak, but I think frameworks are really potent and keeps things in check and keeps energy not contained, but yeah, the container is really important. I've learned that a lot in my life recently. And so yeah, I guess this is a little announcement that those are returning. So we'll see. We'll start it all on Patreon and go from there. And I've got a cold and my body hurts because the accident that I had, and my son got me sick, and he's probably going to catch chicken pox because he was exposed to a person with chicken pox, and it takes a while for it to incubate. And so I'm just like counting the days until he starts to have chicken pox. And so yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being a part of this journey with me for all of this time. And I would do this all the time. I would do it all the time. In fact, I did do it all the time. Melody, you were there. We were on those live streams for like 7 hours at a time every day. We would do that every night. We would all stay up all night. We would stay up all night on that stuff. That was crazy. That was so fun. Some of them would be live and some of them weren't. I know a lot of them were live, but a lot of them were totally not live. And it was just the craziest shit ever, honestly. So, anyways, it feels wrong to get off of the live stream right now. It really is. But I don't know what to do from here. Who's all still here? We've got 3 people. I know Melody's here, and I know Jay is here. Melody. My nose is so stuffed up. It sounds like I'm saying Melody. So I wonder what we should do. Hey, Jay. Yeah, it says we have 4 now. I don't know. Kind of like, should I start a Zoom thing? I don't know. Let's see. How could I do that? Oh my God. Host a meeting with video on. Email address. Sign in. Let's see. I've never hosted a Zoom meeting before, but people do it all the freaking time. Schedule a meeting? Oh dear. Oh, this is a lot. God, can we all just acknowledge and admire the simplicity of Google Hangouts? I have a BlackBerry. Maybe it stops counting. Done it before. I've noticed that. That's weird. Yeah. I don't know. So. Trying to think. 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna grab something. Oh dear goodness gracious. I am considering starting a Zoom thing here. And I don't know how to do it. Can anybody research and tell me if Google Hangouts is still a thing? Oh. Let's see. Let's find out. Let's find out. My body hurts. But it's okay. Okay. Maybe I can do a screen share so it's like more interactive. I don't know if I could even do that on here. No, I can't. Well, I can on Zoom. So let's figure it out. Okay. Zoom. Zoomy Zoom. I never had heard of Zoom until like the pandemic happened. So funny. Maybe I did. New meeting. Oh. What just happened? Oh, I'm in a Zoom thing. That was really quick. How do I? I don't think we'll do it right now. I would like to be a little bit more structured and like I feel like a little hesitant to jump into something because it's oh god, I'm so resistant. But if we all commit to doing it, it'll be a nice little thing. God, man, I don't know. I've got trust issues. Okay, let's see. Jay, are you gonna come? You better not be in this alone. You will? Oh, Jay, are you? Wait, you said you were on a Blackberry. There's no way you're watching a YouTube live on a Blackberry. Are you able to get on Zoom? Are you? If I send the link, would you jump in? Yes, I would literally just send the link in the chat. So I'm gonna figure it out. Invite. Wait. Copy invite link. Copy invitation. Isn't that the same thing? Okay. Join Zoom meeting. All right, y'all. We're hopping in. I don't know how we're gonna do this. It's gonna be so fun. Copy invite link. Okay. Okay. All right. Invite link is. Oh my god. Are we bringing back the Hangouts? How funny. Okay. Let's see. All right, y'all. Let me know if you can get in. Excuse me. I don't think you even need to make an account. You think you can just join it. But yeah, do your thing. I'm going to get some water. Man, I need more water. I'm like a fish. Okay. Start without you? Yeah. Just come in when you can. No problem. All right, the link is in, y'all. I don't know if you can. Let me know if you guys can get in. Yeah, no problem. Man, if that's all the water that I have, we are effed because I need more water. I just ate some Ethiopian food that I just made. Monsieur Wyatt? Misirwat. I put some chicken in there. It was really good. I need some water. Gonna get on my laptop. That's right, because the beauty of tech, we could just do things on our phones. All right, y'all. It says 3 people are in here, and I think it's full of shit. Tech lag. I don't know what is going on. It's all good. Take your time. I can help you walk it through. If you have a laptop, it's probably a lot easier. You can download the app. You know, it's really fun. You said tech lagged, and I just got that. I don't know if you meant to send that pun, but I got jet lagged, tech lagged. Sorry, that was probably a really annoying sound. I didn't realize scraping my bowl would be that loud. So, I'm going to ground us in. Once we get on this Zoom call, I'm going to play my little doohickey. I needed to pay attention to the time. All right, I need to get off of here at 9 Eastern Standard Time. It's 8:31. Ooh. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up here at, in 30 minutes. We can do this for another 30 minutes on the Zoom. If we don't end up doing the Zoom thing, then I'm going to get off here in probably 5 minutes because I'm tired. Hip Amish. Yeah, I hear you. You're hip Amish. That's how technologically savvy you are. I get it. Ooh, on to tablet. Oh, sweet. You got a tablet, homie. Yucca! So, I'm thinking, I know it's really impromptu, but I think I'm hosting a Zoom thing right now. And I am sending the invite if you want to join, Yucca. You don't have to at all. The invitation is here. You don't have to have your video on. You don't even have to talk. It's fine. You can just do the chat. But I'm opening this space up for the next 27 minutes to get on Zoom. Let me know if you can hear. You guys here. My Patreon babies are here. Why are you awake? Isn't it like, how late is it right now for you? Look at me. I'm such a mom. Yika, are you in Germany? Where are you from again? Can you tell me where you live? If you're okay with that. Oh, really? Jeez. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think. How do I my personal meeting ID, copy an invitation, edit, show meeting invitation. Yeah, it should be working. Let's see. Oh, wait. What am I doing? What's happening? Okay. So, Yika, I think I'm going to start doing some live Zoom meetings. I don't think it'll be, we were talking about it, an old friend of mine that used to do these meetings, we used to do these kind of long form hangout sessions on Google Hangouts, and sometimes would live stream them, sometimes wouldn't. But I was thinking, and I have been thinking about this, and I voiced it in my Patreon stuff, is having that I host something that you guys attend, and it's some kind of like closed container, really tightly held ritual space. And so I was thinking about doing that for the Patreon people. And having it be in a space where I can like start using some stuff. Start sharing things I don't want to share. Prompting some things. Be witnessed, because I realize like I need to be witnessed. That thing. Meeting ID. Meeting ID is 561 543 2212. Happy new moon. Yep, it's a lunar eclipse. I was talking about it. It's my son's lunar birthday because he was born with a Sag, and he was born with a Sag sun and moon. So the sun is in Sag and the moon is in Sag, and so he's having an eclipse right on his sun and moon. So funny. His birthday was just recently. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. He's such a passcode. It's asking you for a freaking passcode? For F's sake. Passcode. Oh dear God. Why is it asking you for a passcode? I just got really tired all of a sudden, and I'm letting y'all know now because I'm going to start wrapping this up. I'm really tired. I'm really spent. I am a mom. Maybe no login? Maybe no login. What are you saying? I sent it in the chat, if that's what you mean. Okay. I'm also going to take it as a sign to not do this if it's going to be this draining. I don't know what you're saying, homie. So anyways, I'm probably going to stop this live stream and hearing something. I'm going to stop this live stream. I'm going to save it. I'm going to edit all this crap out. Not crap, but all the extra stuff. And leave the juicy bits in. And figure out what the hell I'm going to do moving forward with what I want to do. Because I've been feeling so stuck in my... You know, that's the thing with the ancestral healing stuff. And like just the things that I've been feeling and going through has had me feeling really indecisive and distracted and just low energy. And so finding the strength and the just getting on my feet to where I can do the things that I'm passionate about and not just like exist, you know, baseline. Waiting for the host? What is this saying? Waiting for me? Y'all are waiting for me? What do you mean you're waiting for me? That don't make no damn sense. I don't know what's going on. You're in. No, you're not. Wait. I've never hosted a damn thing before. Participants. Host. Me. It just says I'm in here. I don't know what to do. You like my accent? Thanks, honey. You're in? No, you're not. Wait a minute. What the hell? What the hell? Open. No, y'all are not in. Show me what you see. What? Hold on. Really? It says end meeting for all. Okay. Start. Okay. You entered the room. Admit. What accent? My accent? Oh, homie, you're in. All right. Melanie, get your booty in here. I'm getting tired. There you are. Okay. Yika, you want to join in? It's the thingy, the link I sent. Is everybody in? Gallery. Y'all, I'm about to fall asleep. I am so tired. Holy shit. Connecting to audio. I can't hear not a damn thing. Join audio. Oh.
Hi, sweet.
Hey!
Told you it was divinely set. It's just that time, Annie.
Wow.
How you doing?
I'm tired. How are you doing? Oh my god. Wow. I'm exhausted, tired. Joe, are you in?
Not surprised. Tired, just like you, exhausted. And it's quite interesting how we're all on the same thing about the ancestors. I'm not going to be able to stay on for long because I'm not at home. But when I get back home, I will give you a call. Yeah, just keep on trotting, girl. Yeah, I need, you know, everything that you were saying, it just seems it's all synchronicity. Everything, everyone, but it's literally as if the soul families, the soul tribes, even though we're not together, we're together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I was just sitting here watching a group of women and thinking, oh my God, that was me, Summer and Tanya. And then I see you pop up, and it was like, I know spirits talking. There are things that need to be discussed. Yeah, for sure. But I'm gonna love you and leave you. Carry on. Mwah. Lots of love. Bye. Good to see you.
I'm good to see you too.
Take care.
Bye. Oh, it's so sweet. Wow. You think you missed so much. Yeah, you did. But it's okay. It's okay, Yucca. You're all good, girl. You just watch it back. Just watch it back. I'm starting to get sick now. I'm so tired. So I'm going to get off here. I love you. You have so much to look at. Yucca, just start to just rewind. And Joe, it's so good to see you in the flesh. I'm going to hop off here and I'm going to take care of myself. I hope you're good to see you. Yeah. Bye. Okay, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up here. Take care of my body. I love you so much. I'm not going to have this public. I'm going to keep this unlisted for the Patreon people. And yeah, I'm going to take care of myself. Yeah, I love you too, Yika. So I'm so glad you're here. Truly. That was a genuine reaction. I'm so happy you're here and that you joined in. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Take care.